All right, guys, we need to talk about Patrick Mahomes. I mean, could we really be seeing the end of an era in Kansas City? After the Chiefs fell short of the championship this year, you could just see it on his face, the frustration, the disappointment. It was impossible to ignore. And now there's talk that Mahomes might actually walk away. Just imagine what that would mean, not just for the Chiefs, but for the entire NFL. It would send absolute shockwaves through the league and leave Chiefs Kingdom in total disbelief. But is this really happening, or is it just speculation? Right now, the future feels more uncertain than ever. Fans are holding their breath, hoping Mahomes stays and leads Kansas City on another Super Bowl run. But as of now, nobody really knows what's next. But before we get into the details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. So let's take a step back and talk about the Chiefs offseason, because whether Mahomes stays or goes, this team has some serious challenges ahead. First, the salary cap. Kansas City's got about $18.12 million available in cap space. And yeah, that's not a lot. It seriously limits their options in free agency. But if there's one guy who knows how to get creative, it's GM Brett Veach. He's a master keeping the team competitive without wrecking the franchise's financial future. One option on the table, restructuring Mahomes' contract. If they convert part of his base salary, they could free up somewhere between $20 to $30 million in cap space. And that would make a huge difference. Another possible move, extending guard Joe Thuney's contract to lower his cap hit and create some much needed room to bring in reinforcements. And then, of course, there's the question of strategic cuts. Let's be honest, Marquez Valdes-Scantling just hasn't lived up to expectations. Releasing him could save the Chiefs around $12 million, which could go a long way in free agency. With moves like that, Kansas City could go from a tight cap situation to a pretty comfortable position. And that's when the real offseason moves can start happening. It's one of the biggest priorities, strengthening the offensive line, especially at left tackle. With Joe Thuney being traded to the Bears, the Chiefs need a solid replacement to protect Mahomes and keep this offense running at a high level. One name that's been floating around is Ronnie Stanley from the Ravens. Despite some injury concerns, he had a strong 2024 season, playing all 17 games and allowing just 2 sacks. He's got the experience and skill to lock down the most important spot on the offensive line. And if they don't land a big name in free agency, the draft is always an option. A guy like Georgia's Amarius Mims could be available in the first round. But let's be real, depending on a rookie to fill such a critical role is a pretty big gamble for a team with Super Bowl aspiration. Now, the Chiefs have already made one really smart move by applying the franchise tag to guard Trey Smith. That keeps him on the team for at least another year, and that's huge. Smith is one of the best young guards in the NFL, a cornerstone of this offensive line. He's got strength, technique, and leadership, and the Chiefs need to lock him down with a long-term extension. A 4-year, $65 million deal would make a lot of sense and keep that interior line stable without breaking the bank. But it's not just the offense that needs attention. The defense has some key players they can't afford to lose. And at the top of that list, Nick Bolton. This guy is the heart and soul of the Chiefs defense. He's been a key piece in their last 2 Super Bowl wins and keeps getting better every year. Last season, Bolton racked up 106 tackles, 6 pass breakups, 1 interception, and a forced fumble. He's a versatile, impact player, great against the run and improving in pass coverage. And beyond the stats, he's a leader, the voice of the defense, and a respected presence in the locker room. Letting him go would be a massive mistake. His market value sits around 4 years, $49 million. And honestly, that's a fair price for a guy of his caliber. Another must-keep player, safety Justin Reid. Since arriving in Kansas City, he's done an amazing job replacing Tyrann Mathieu and bringing stability to the secondary. In 2024, he posted 87 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 9 pass breakups. But beyond the numbers, his leadership and communication with younger players have been crucial for the defense's success. The problem, Reid's contract is up, and keeping him won't come cheap. His projected deal sits at about 3 years, $46 million. If the Chiefs decide they can't afford him, they might have to look at more affordable options like Adrian McKinney from the Giants or Jordan Whitehead from the Jets. But losing Reid would definitely hurt this defense. And let's not forget the wide receiver situation because, man, the Chiefs desperately need help there. Last season, the drops, the lack of explosiveness, the inconsistent production, it was painful to watch. This offense is going to bounce back. They need to find reliable targets from Mahomes. But before we get into details, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. Now, we all know inconsistency at the wide receiver position was one of the Chiefs' biggest issues last season. Rice has stepped up as the roan, but he can't carry that load alone. The Chiefs need a reliable partner for him, and there are a couple of intriguing names popping up in free agency, Cooper Kupp and Tyler Lockett. Kupp had that historic 2021 season. I mean, the guy was unstoppable, but since then, injuries and a drop in production have slowed him down. Still, his talent is undeniable, and teaming up with Patrick Mahomes, that could bring him back to his best form. Then there's Tyler Lockett, and this one feels special. Lockett has a real connection to Kansas City. He played college ball in Kansas, and his dad even played for the Chiefs. Plus, he's known for his reliability and consistent production, exactly what the Chiefs need. If free agency doesn't pan out, the draft could be the way to go. Adonai Mitchell from Texas and Ladd McConkey from Georgia are both intriguing options who could be available at the end of the first round. Either way, the Chiefs can't afford to repeat the mistakes of 2024. They need to strengthen this wide receiver unit, and they need to do it now. All right, let's talk about a tough but necessary subject, preparing for life after Travis Kelce. Look, Kelce is still one of the best tight ends in the league, no question. But he's 35 now, and last season, we started seeing some signs of wear and tear, especially early on. It's time to start thinking about the future. The free agent market doesn't offer a ton of young and high-profile options, but there are some interesting names out there. Noah Fant from the Seahawks and Hunter Henry from the Patriots could be solid short-term solutions to help share the workload with Kelce. In the draft, though, Brock Bowers from Georgia would be the dream pick, but he's likely going early, and getting him would mean an aggressive trade-up. It's a tough call, but one thing's for sure, no one's replacing Kelce overnight. The best move would be to draft a young talent and let them learn from Kelce for a few years, ensuring a smooth transition when the time comes. Now let's flip to the defensive side and talk about boosting the pass rush. The Chiefs' defense was dominant in 2024, but there's always room for improvement, right? One area that definitely needs reinforcements is the pass rush. George Karlaftis and Chris Jones have been beasts, but they need more help. In free agency, there are a couple big names worth watching. Danielle Hunter from the Vikings is a proven edge rusher who knows how to pressure the quarterback. And then there's Bryce Huff from the Jets, one of the best young pass rushers in the league, known for his explosiveness and versatility. If the Chiefs go the draft route, Jared Verse from Florida State and Elijah Latou from UCLA are top-tier prospects who could make an immediate impact. Whatever direction they choose, strengthening the pass rush has to be a priority if the Chiefs want to stay on top. But championship teams aren't just built on stars. Depth matters. The Chiefs need to reinforce their roster with solid rotational players who can step up when injuries hit. Willie Gay Jr. and Mike Dana have been key contributors in recent years, and they could likely be brought back at an affordable price. On the offensive side, finding a complimentary running back for Isaiah Pacheco would be huge. With Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the picture, guys like Austin Ekeler from the Chargers or Tony Pollard from the Cowboys could bring experience and pass-catching ability to the backfield. All right, now let's talk about a tricky situation. Harrison Butker. Look, Butker's been clutch in some of the biggest moments for the Chiefs, but his inconsistency during the regular season raised some eyebrows. He was nearly flawless in the playoffs, but those regular season struggles, hard to ignore. There aren't many elite kickers available in free agency, and betting on a rookie is always risky. So my guess, the Chiefs will likely stick with Butker. But don't be surprised if they bring in a little competition during the preseason to keep him on his toes. Because let's be real, a reliable kicker can often be the difference between winning and losing a Super Bowl. Now, more than just science, the Chiefs need to maintain what's made them a dynasty. A winning mentality with Patrick Mahomes leading the charge, Andy Reid coaching from the sidelines, and a talented core of players. The Chiefs still have so much left to accomplish. But the key to staying on top is going to be maintaining that chemistry in the locker room and making smart financial decisions. The right balance of young talent and experienced veterans will keep this team in championship form. And there's one potential X factor out there who could push the Chiefs over the top. You ready for this? DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins is still one of the most talented and reliable wide receivers in the league. His route running, his hands, his ability to make contested catches, it's all elite. Pairing him with Rashee Rice would give Mahomes a deadly 1-2 punch and take this passing attack to another level. If the Chiefs can get Hopkins at a reasonable price, that could be the move that gets them another ring. On defense, the Chiefs also made a huge move by signing veteran cornerback Patrick Peterson. Now, Peterson isn't the shutdown corner. He was in his prime, but the guy still brings leadership and experience. Even last season with the Steelers, he recorded 3 interceptions and 12 pass breakups. So he's still got game. This signing becomes even more important after the Chiefs lost L'Jarius Sneed in free agency. Peterson may not be a long-term solution, but he's a solid stopgap. Plus, his presence will help younger guys like Trent McDuffie and Joshua Williams develop faster. And now, all eyes are on the 2025 NFL Draft. Chiefs hold the 28th overall pick, and there are a lot of directions they could go. One name getting some buzz, Trey Sanders, the explosive running back out of Alabama. This dude is a dual-threat player with great vision and quickness, exactly the kind of weapon the Chiefs could use alongside Pacheco. Adding depth to the backfield would take some pressure off Pacheco and give the offense even more flexibility throughout a long season. So, what's next? Can Brett Veach pull off the perfect free agency plan? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the Chiefs are gearing up to enter the 2025 season stronger than ever. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment letting me know your thoughts on the Chiefs offseason strategy. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. See you then.